Welcome to the Palace of Megapixels. This is Super Mega Grand Brothers Turbo.
And welcome to Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. I'm your host, Stephen White, and with me is, as always, Todd Stark.
It's me.
Yeah, we're just two guys today.
Sitting in a Palace of Megapixels.
That's right.
At the cafe.
Just,
Wait, it's the Palace.
Hanging, chilling, a little bit of illin'.
It's kind of cold, but kind of warm outside.
Yeah.
Kind of cold, but kind of warm inside.
The beauty of Tennessee weather.
Yeah.
It's bipolar.
It's totally, sometimes I think it might be tripolar.
A little bit.
If there's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't really have anything to say or add. I mean,
No, I didn't. I didn't take a poop this morning.
Okay.
Hopefully that happens this afternoon. I'm going roller skating, so probably might happen at the roller skating rink. I don't know. I don't know if I have enough time.
It could help. It could help shake things loose.
I don't know if I
know.
could just break my ass. Period. I don't know.
You could, and then where are you going to be? Just sitting around with your non-pooping self in the Palace of Megapixels
without my headphones plugged up.
Yeah.
I wonder why I couldn't hear myself.
But you're still doing all right. I mean, you're just not hearing how loud you are.
I couldn't hear myself at all.
There
we go. That's way better.
Is that much better?
That's way better.
No, you're not going to be shouting.
No, I'm not shouting at all.
Good.
Is that why I was doing that?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, what have you been playing, man?
Okay, this week I've been playing quite a bit.
Okay.
I jumped around the whole spectrum of my games.
Mm-hmm.
I downloaded, let me just touch with that. I downloaded Rush of Blood for the VR.
Okay.
I played Riggs.
Mm-hmm.
And that game is fun.
I still want to play it. I've got it downloaded. I just
we need to get in there and play. They have 3 game modes, and you can have it's 3-on-3.
Okay.
And I thought that maybe there's one you can do 1 versus 1, so we could play each other and have your AI co-pilots,
mm-hmm.
and then you can do just 3 of your friends be on the team. And I would suggest you just going on there and playing a few games because I got sick the first few times. I went through the tutorial.
Uh-huh.
And I'm through with this shit. I'm gonna throw up. And then I came back a couple days later, and it's kind of like I inched my way through it. And I finally played like a single player game, like a league game, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. I was okay after. Then I played about 4 or 5 matches online. Then I wanted to throw up again, and then I was okay. So I'm feeling like the more I condition myself, I'll be all right. Then I played Hidden Agenda, the PlayLink game.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love, I think I talked about this with you earlier this week. It's different. It's cool. It's kind of like Until Dawn. I think the graphics are a little bit better. I mean, I thought Until Dawn looked great, but it looks like episode of Law and Order.
Nice.
It's a pretty good story. The controls are good. I like the whole idea of the PlayLink. Didn't play with the 2-player yet. I just played 1 player. But they have 2 modes. It's like a story mode where you play together and you find clues and stuff like that. And that was a real cool thing. It was like the room was there and it's kind of like spot the clue. The more clues you find, it helps you open up things in the story later on. Then there was a competitive mode where it gives you, I guess it lets everybody work against each other to try to, I guess you have a hidden agenda. I don't know. I haven't done that part yet, but it sounds kind of cool. I'm kind of interested in it. And then, what else did I play this week?
Said you bounced around.
I did. I believe I think I played. I can't remember if I played 7 Days to Die or not. I played Call of Duty. I played some more of that. I actually got back together with the guys that I used to play with. It's probably been like 10 years, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's been 10 years since I played with these guys because once it went into the future, they lost interest, and now it's back at World War II. Man, I was just sitting on there, and all of a sudden, I get about 4 alerts that people want me to play with them, And they're like, "Hey, we're getting the guys back together." It was pretty cool though. Like, it took a minute to get in. I guess because it's just a week old. I remember all the other ones when they, Call of Duties are pretty popular. So the first week is just a shit storm or a shit show trying to get into a server. Yeah. But I think that's it, man. I think that's all I played. Maybe a little Shadow of War. I've kind of pulled a Witcher on that. Like, I just kind of set it off. But I did the same thing with the first one. I set it aside and I'll come back later. What about you?
Well, started off the week playing a little Injustice 2, and then I shifted over and finally finished the Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale series.
How was that game?
It was a very interesting story. I felt like that maybe I wasn't doing so well because I actually achieved something I've never seen before in my entirety of playing Telltale games.
What's that?
I got 0% of all players on one thing.
0%?
Yeah. There was a moment where I think it was at the end of episode 4, and they do comparison things where it'll say like and a percentage of other players achieved this.
Right.
Okay. At the end of episode 4, they showed you the state of the Guardians, and they said 0% of players and you achieved this. And I completely dismantled all of the Guardians.
So they wasn't together at all?
Well, Rocket was still by my side.
Yeah.
But everybody else took off.
Who do you play as? You play as Peter Quill?
You play as all of them. They just, mainly Peter Quill, but they'll shift you off to different side stories, and then you will follow another character. Like they did flashbacks for each character, so you had an understanding of their history and their family and the reason they are who they are.
Do you do the whole thing with Drax where you see his family die?
You don't see them die, but you do have a moment with his daughter.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
Drax is one of my favorites. I think it's just because of how Batista portrays him in the movie. He makes me like him a lot more.
Yeah, it was a very touching scene between the two of them because you never really got that in the movies. You just hear about his frustration.
Right.
And then they even I felt like with that game, they really put you into tight spots. I mean, where you really have to make a choice because you're picking between family. You know, so one person wants to do one thing, one person wants to do another. You don't want to disappoint them because you like all of these characters. In a Walking Dead situation, there's usually a character you don't like, and you're like, yeah, the hell with you. I'm going to go with this guy.
Like Duck?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he dies and you, spoiler alert, you Duck dies and you cry.
But with these guys, you want to please them all, and it feels like you're trying to juggle all these options because you don't want to piss this one off, and then you don't want to piss that one off, and you have to compromise yourself and like, what do I want to do? Who am I going to make angry? So I try to always balance it out, but somehow I screwed it all up.
Right.
I mean, in the end, it all came together nicely and everything was fine, but I don't know, just that whole journey was like, man, what am I doing wrong? I just felt like a failure half the time, trying to keep them together, and they're like, nope, we're done. So
I seen that you'd finished. Are you done with it completely now?
Yeah,
do you get a platinum for it?
Yeah, I did.
I got to finish it then. I got to go do it. That's just easy platinums.
It is.
And if you've linked your account with Sony reward points, you're doing pretty good. Yeah, you might be able to buy like a $10 gift card.
You got to get those silver, gold, and platinums.
That's right.
No bronze.
No bronze. Them are pennies. Penny stock.
But last night, funny enough, we're talking about bouncing around, I did 2 games. I bounced back to Bloodborne for a moment because I really want to try to get into that. But before I did that, I tried out Hue. And
How is that?
That game from Curve Digital.
Right.
And it's a very unique puzzle game.
That deals with colors and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where the puzzle element comes in because they'll start you off with one, and then you'll see how you have to manipulate the colors. So you may see, if you're in a blue shade, you'll see all the other colors of blocks or stepping stones and things like that you can achieve. But if you go to another color that matches another color on screen, that will disappear. And then, say the blue, if you were on blue, that will return if there are any blue objects on screen. So you have to be aware of the environment and use the colors to essentially find your way through the next area.
Right.
Because each area is like a little puzzle. And it's very interesting. I mean, just the layout itself, it's a very clever puzzle game.
I mean, I've heard about it, and that's the one thing they said, that it was real unique how they used the colors as the puzzle. So
Yeah, so you have to. There were moments where you just feel like, what am I getting wrong here? And then all of a sudden it just clicks. You know,
Right.
like a puzzle game normally does. Yeah. It's not one of those frustrating puzzles where you just, you know, the answer's so right there and, you know, you feel like an idiot or anything like that. It's just trying to look at your layout and saying, what am I doing here? What do I need to do here? Like I saw one yesterday. There were 2 blocks that I needed to get to, but the roof above them had spikes. Mm-hmm. So I had to find a way to get to them, obviously without jumping onto the spikes or hitting my head on the spikes.
Right.
And there were different levels of blocks or stepping stones that I could move. And again, they're all different colors, so you have to shift to one to the other to move back and forth.
So if you're on top of a color and you match another one, it's going to disappear. You're going to fall.
Yes.
So it's almost like you have to jump, switch the color sometimes. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Another thing
that is cool.
that they do. And the same with the blocks too. If you're moving one and say you've got an orange block and there's a red block, in its way, if you go to red, then you can move the orange block on the other side of it, then shift back and move the red into the way. So if you're on that color, everything disappears.
Right.
So it's like it doesn't exist.
Right.
So that's how you have to manage the puzzles and stuff like
cool.
that. So it's very unique. And
it is. It sounds
I played
unique.
it for a little bit, and I was like, I want to continue on with this, but I wanted to move on as well because it was, I don't know, it's a brain teaser, and
sometimes you got to move on.
Yeah.
That's how I feel lately.
But I'll definitely come back to it.
Yeah. It sounds cool. Like I'm intrigued by it, just hearing you talk about it. I kind of want to play it.
Mm-hmm. I recommend it.
Yeah,
I think
I'll take your recommendations.
The people listening right now.
Yeah, all 7 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's just 2 of you listening right now.
Right
now.
moment.
2 of us are listening.
But on Monday, hopefully there will be more people. I'd love to know how many people actually listen.
Yeah,
I mean,
if they would.
We have an idea of who does listen.
Yeah.
But that's just an idea.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure that they even
We get a lot of plays. Like, we have a lot of plays. You think about 21, this would be number 22.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting close to 1,000 plays. Am I right?
Yeah, we're up there.
Yeah. So that's a lot of plays.
It is.
I'm happy. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, fans.
Let's get this shit started.
We did get a lot of attention for that 12 Days of Indie. But
yeah.
But honestly, that's more for them than us.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like, Toys for Tots and stuff like that, that's awesome. Like, every little kid should have a great Christmas. And that started yesterday, right?
It did.
Yeah.
And if you're not aware, we're going to plug it one more time. 12 Days of Indie is going on right now on Twitch. As we speak, you can go to twitch.tv twitch.tv/indie, and you can see who's ever is playing at the time. I don't know. Yeah. I don't have a schedule, but someone will be playing. Someone will be pushing this charity, earning money for Toys for Tots.
If Indy's on there, tell him he has a sweet beard.
Mm-hmm.
He has a sweet beard.
He does.
It's a Santa Claus type beard, but it's not white. So you can't call him Kris Kringle. I had to call him like Peter Kringle.
Okay, yeah.
Peter has all the color in his beard.
That's right. So, again, if you've got time, go over there, check that out. Chuck in $1, help them out.
Yeah, throw $1 in.
It's not going to hurt you.
If 12,000 people throw $1 in, it's $12,000.
That's right. Look at that.
It adds up.
That's math.
It is math, and I did not use what's that new? I didn't use the core method with the blocks.
Yeah, we don't need that.
That shit pisses me off.
It's unnecessary.
Like 2 plus 2 is not 4 anymore.
Yeah.
It's red blocks.
I mean, how hard is it to figure out 20 plus 5? You just
add the 5
up. And there you go.
Cross out the 0 and bring the 5 up.
No, like you got to break it down into 4 5s.
That's so stupid.
And the other 5.
Yeah, it's dumb. Why? That's the only thing I feel like Obama did wrong was in implementing that. But this ain't politics. But I just want to point that out there. I loved Obama. We probably lost about 5 viewers. But That's the one thing he sucked on. I think he should have not done it. But maybe it sounded like a good idea. They all have things that are messed up. Why hadn't Trump got rid of that?
I don't know.
He's tried to do everything
Maybe that's
else.
what we need to push that for Trump. Tell him, say, look, man, this Common Core thing, that's an Obama thing. You need to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Right now.
I don't want him to do good, but I want him to get rid of that.
Well, see, we just manipulate the situation to where he'll say, Obama did that, it's gone.
Here, I got rid of that bigly.
Bigly. All right, well,
let's get this shit started.
Before we get into deep politics, let's get into the news. First up, during a presentation for investors, EA Chief Financial Advisor or Officer Blake Jorgensen defended the decision to shut down Visceral Games. He mentioned that Visceral had shrunk in size over the past 5 or 6 years, and it was about down to 80 developers, which they considered subscale. He also said that the studio was trying to build a game that was going to push gameplay to the next level, but as reviews by EA continued, the game seemed much more linear than expected and felt that players don't enjoy that style of game as they did 5 or 10 years ago. Is that true?
No. I can't stand that thought. They're one of them. They do it all the time. A linear experience is terrible. Like, I don't understand that.
Sometimes I want a linear experience.
God, I don't want to have to worry about everybody around me. I just want you to tell me a good story, let me depict how it goes, and just get the hell out of the way.
Yeah, there's just some games I don't want open world. I really don't.
No.
So I didn't quite agree with that statement. He also goes on to point out that the decision was economical, feeling that recouping the cost of making the game would be improbable, and shutting down the studio would be the most viable choice, saying that you have to cut the bridge when you realize you can't make a lot of money on something. That is EA in a nutshell.
Yeah, you cut the bridge and then you can't get back across the son of a bitch.
I mean, that's no different than what they did to Nintendo, like we mentioned last week with the Wii U. As soon as they realized they couldn't make money, they're like, nope, we're done. They cut that bridge quick. Even though at the beginning they were like, yeah, we're going to support this. We're here for the long haul.
We. They lied. That's why they get worse company in America.
So right year. There you have, in a nutshell, everything EA stands for.
Yeah.
Making money. And don't get me wrong, I understand it's a business, and that's what you do in a business. But you can be a decent company and still make money.
I mean, let's be honest. If they've cut down to 80 developers, you've already made your cuts. Mm-hmm. You don't have to close the entire studio, especially if they have a game that's going to push. What'd they say?
Push gameplay boundaries.
Yeah. Okay, that could be something new. What the hell? Why get rid of it? Wait a minute. When they say that, what was that one game where they announced it at? What was that? Oh, I think it was at E3 this year. It was the prison game. Do you remember? It was like couch co-op.
Oh,
and one person played one side of the story. No, it was split screen.
Yeah,
the whole deal.
Yeah.
Who was making that game?
I don't recall.
It wasn't Visceral, was it?
I don't think so, because wasn't that one of those PlayLink games?
No, it wasn't PlayLink, because only Sony games do that, or any of the games. But I mean, I can't say that only Sony games do that. But
I just felt like that they were involved. Or that was like one of the aspects of it. I could be wrong.
No, it was just, it was split. They were talking about couch co-op and how that had gone away. And it was a split screen. You seen your character's perspective and the other person played another one. You have to work together. And there's other times when you're like, one guy's on this side of the wall and another one.
I can't remember. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What was the name of
that?
I can't
remember the name
They were
of
in
it.
prison and you enlisted the help of somebody in prison. Mm-hmm. And I cannot think of the name of it. It was one of the games where I'm like, wow, EA actually has a good idea. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember the studio that was pushing it.
Like, knowing our luck, it'll be this one.
I know, that's what I'm worried about, because that was one of the games that I was wanting to play. That and Anthem. Mm-hmm. That game looks awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll do a little digging into that and try to find out.
Think BioWare
I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember the name.
BioWare was making Anthem. I'm going to Google that. Mm-hmm. That's worth a Google.
Well, while you're Googling, I'm going to move on. Now, last week we mentioned that the Gaming Commission in Belgium had ruled that loot boxes in gaming are classified as gambling and have been pushing to ban them in Europe. The UK Gambling Commission, however, has stated that since the prizes unlocked in loot boxes are usable only in the game in which they are won and cannot be cashed out, they feel it doesn't fit the bill for licensable gambling activity. That said, the Commission is still expressing concerns over the practice in gaming. Now, the Commission said, while the line between video gaming and gambling is becoming increasingly blurred, its job is to step in when the practice meets the definition of gambling under UK law. Here in the United States, the ESRB determined loot boxes were not gambling under its own criteria. I don't know. Where do you think this is going? We've talked about this for the last couple of weeks. Do you really feel like this is going to hit where loot boxes are gambling? Because I feel like they're reaching for a solution to get rid of this stuff, but I don't feel like it's going to happen.
No, I think it'll happen everywhere but here.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that they would just come in and... Because I'm okay with loot boxes, but they need to have like okay, well, we have 6 loot boxes. Pick which one you want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Not the randomized shit. Not there's a chance that you're gonna get the same red scarf 7 times. You know what I mean? Like I don't like that idea. I don't like the chance that you won't get anything, because that's how I feel that's why I don't buy any of the Madden Ultimate Team stuff. I've got into that a little bit and it's fun, but I started buying those. I spent $10,
mm-hmm.
and by the end of that $10, I realized that I started getting the same thing over and over. And they start promising you, like when you read the description, oh, you get 3 regular player cards, 2 silvers, and 1 gold when you spend this amount of money. Well, that's what I bought. I bought 4 packs. And by the end of it, I realized, man, the gold players that they're giving me are not that good. Like by the 4th one, I got one good gold player. But it's the same thing with that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I understand the whole gambling aspect, but also, why not just have player packs that you know who are in it? I mean, they give away that one guy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, I don't know. Like, they have a trading market. Why not do that and then emphasize, hey, you can go on the market and trade these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do that. I don't know. I don't like the whole aspect of you might get something good and you might not for the money. Because when I spend my money, I want to know that I'm going to get my money's worth.
Yeah. Now, if you're spending real money, I feel like you should be entitled to something. I feel like that's that should be a prerequisite. If I'm sitting there earning and grinding through normal gameplay, then maybe the odds are lower. But when you buy real money, your odds go up completely.
Exactly.
It should be like a guarantee.
It should
So, I feel like that at some point, because I'm kind of getting tired of talking about it.
But it's a big deal right now, man. It could change the entire landscape of how we play our games.
Mm-hmm. And microtransactions in general.
And I've said, I mean, think about it. These came from our cell phones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they obviously made a shit ton of money, and they seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And once they smell, they're like sharks, man, in the water. And they smell blood, man, they're going to go to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, even consumer-friendly companies like Sony, they're doing it. They're talking about doing microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when I hear that.
But as I've stated before, I'm trying to understand where they're coming from. That they have to recoup their money somewhere.
Right.
But there's always a classy way to do it.
Right, and that's the thing. Is like Sony's been classy. Like they did microtransactions with one of the first ones I remember them doing it real big with was The Last of Us. I don't know why that one stands out in my head, but they had all kinds of stuff that you could buy for online. You know, like just it was appearance stuff. Nothing that you needed. It's just if you wanted it, because customization is a big thing to some people.
Yeah.
Like me, I just get on there and play with the vanilla dude they give you. You know, I don't really care about customization unless I really get into it.
Yeah.
But at first I don't.
And I'm a sucker for it. I love customizing, but
if that's all it is, though, I don't care.
Yeah.
If it's like, hey, this pack has this, this, and this, and it's just all stuff that does not help me win the game, I don't care. Microtransaction the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But if it comes down to me having to have this stuff to win the game, just like the Madden Ultimate stuff, I'm not for that.
Mm.
Because
that's where the line needs to be.
I don't. And if they ever get to, like we've said last week, they ever get to the point where you can play 3 times today, and you pay $1 and you can play more. Oh Jesus, I'm done gaming, dude.
Yeah.
I am done.
I think at some point they'll realize where I'm really hoping that this will kind of open the eyes of everybody else. Because I mean, honestly, I don't feel like anybody but EA is the one that's really going to be pushing this, because I think a lot of other developers know better.
Yeah. I mean, even Activision hadn't just hung their hat on this shit.
No.
EA is like all up in it. Like they're like Trump and Russia.
And see, I keep using Injustice as a great example since it's so fresh in my mind, everything that they do. I could sit here and argue about the loot boxes that are in that, but it never feels like that I'm having to pay to win.
Right.
I earn so many of these as long as I'm fighting and doing what I'm supposed to.
Right.
Just playing the game. I get stuff all the time. I've got stuff that I've sold because I don't need it.
Right. So you get them from gameplay. You don't have to buy real money to get these.
You even get bonus stuff in between matches if you do certain things.
Yeah, that's not to me, that's not microtransactions. No.
You can buy them.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
And there are even like color shaders, basically color shaders, and maybe even some premiere skins that are you can get the credits for them.
Right.
But they're harder to get, I guess you have to do special things to earn the credits to unlock them straight out.
Right.
Or you can buy credits and then use them to do that. Now, I actually did some math, because I will say that I spent a teeny little bit of money on the credits, because there were 2 premiere skins that I really wanted. But at the end of the day, we're talking $5 is all I spent.
Right.
2 skins, and still had plenty of extra credits left over.
And you didn't have to have those to win. That's just something you wanted.
It's just something I wanted. Absolutely.
I'm okay with that.
So for me, I was like, I'm justifying $5 for essentially 2 new characters.
Right.
And that was a steal as far as I was concerned.
Right.
So I did that. But like you said, I didn't have to pay to win. It was something that I thought, why not? I want this. I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
And I got it.
Definitely. But you get in a game. Say you get into Injustice, you start playing online, and people are whooping your ass, and you start noticing, hey, the only reason they're winning is because they bought these microtransactions that helped them win.
And that is something I'm curious about too, because I've gotten on there, and it's what it shows. It's exactly the reason I want to play online.
Yeah, these guys,
I don't want to be a sore loser, but it's like, God damn, why can't I, catch a break? What am I doing wrong? I feel like I do pretty good because I play the regular game.
Right.
I don't, crank it down to easy. I'm always playing on medium.
I tell you what you need to do. You get the Pro in there, right?
Yeah.
Play it with a wired controller. And go in there and look. I think there's a setting you can go to. Gets rid of that little lag or latency between the controller and I think that's what it is. Like on those timing-based games like that.
Yeah.
I think that's got a big deal to do with it.
I don't want to be a sore loser. I'm just saying.
No. I know. Well, but you got to think, like, it's the same thing with, like, Madden and Call of Duty. Some people just open the thing, put it directly in there, and just start going online. And maybe they win a bunch at the beginning, and then they get their ass whooped. I don't know, but I'm old school. Like, I play the single player first. I go through, I enjoy every bit of the game, and then I venture on to online if I like the game. I don't just jump into online.
Right.
So
I don't know. Well, we'll move on. Tidbits. Little tidbit. Early adopters of the Xbox One X are in for a treat.
Oh my God, what is it?
Microsoft is showing its appreciation by giving owners a free digital 4K copy of the Lego Batman movie.
Batman.
The codes have been sent out via Xbox Live messages. It's unclear how many they have sent out and if there is a certain date of purchase to be eligible.
You get 3 days. Like they're going to send that thing. It's going to be like the Ring.
You think that
You're going to get a call from Phil Spencer. You got 7 days. You got to download it in 7 days.
No, it's cool that they're giving away a movie, but you think it would be kind of like, hey guys, we're starting to do this, so if you want to get on this, you got until, say, the end of the year, and you can get one.
Right.
But they haven't given a date. It's just if you bought it here's a movie for you. Why not?
Yep. That's what I liked about, like, I don't know if you got it or not, like when I bought my Pro and when I bought my initial PlayStation, the first one, Sony gave me $10. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you know how much money they probably, like, you figure they sold $1 million, that was $10 million.
I mean, I'm not making fun of them for the movie or anything like
Oh,
that.
no, I'm not either.
Because I would
That's
say
awesome.
that particular one probably looks pretty awesome.
I
in
bet it
4K.
does in 4K.
Yeah.
I've noticed with my I just got that 4K TV, $280, 55-inch. I got
Wow.
it. I could not pass it up. You know
Yeah,
what I
if
mean?
I'd have seen that, I wouldn't have either.
Yeah, I could not pass that up. I didn't even need a TV, but I was like, I gotta have that one. And but I can tell that just on my cross media bar for my PlayStation 4, my Pro, dude, it's so crisp and clear. It is. I understand the push for 4K gaming now. You know, because it just, I don't know why, just that little bit of something adds to it. I'm like, look, I can see that bull's penis. Like when it's in 4K.
Hey, it might actually help me. I have to wear my glasses to game now. So
Oh, dude,
everything's
I was
all
looking.
fuzzy.
You remember the first time you looked at 1080p, you had to squint your eyes. Like,
Yeah,
damn,
like,
this hurts my eyes. Like,
what's that?
I got sick.
I remember the very first time that I got sold on the idea of HD because, you know, during, I guess, the transition, there was that moment where it was just like, well, what's the difference really?
Right.
You know, what is it?
Yeah, you
know,
just hear it, but when
yeah.
you have to see it.
I saw The Dark Knight on HBO in HD, and it just like, I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this looks great. It was just how deep the colors were.
The colors is what
how,
gets you.
know,
Crisp.
crisp, the picture. I was blown away. And then at that point, I was like, well, I'm getting Blu-rays.
Yep.
So,
I remember when all the news channels started switching over to HD, and I guess like they wasn't wearing makeup. Dude, they looked like death warmed over some of them. You know, like Bob Bueller. I'm like, damn, Bob, you look terrible.
like,
But then they started wearing like all
chair.
kinds of makeup after that. Like I guess they started getting, hey, look, Bob looks terrible. We need to do something about Bob Mueller. It was funny, dude.
Well, yeah, HD is 4K. I guess the way to go. I'm gonna have to get on that train eventually. I know I will.
Well, I mean, you think about it. Last year, I looked through the 4K TVs, and they didn't really have anything big. I'm not going down in size. I've never been a downsizer. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to buy something, I'm either going to stay the same or I'm going to go up. Like I'm going to get a little better in some way. Like this time it's 4K, but I thought I was going to sneeze. False alarm.
Get it out.
The last year they were all still around $1,000 for smaller TVs. So I'm glad I didn't jump on it last year.
Yeah.
$280. And it's a Sharp TV. It's a name brand. It's not like Hisense,
That's good.
which I still would have probably bought a Hisense. They're pretty good TVs.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Or a Kobe
An Element. That's my favorite one, the Element.
Element.
Who the hell buys an Element?
People who don't have a lot of money.
Well, I mean, I guess, you go look at some of these TVs like Element. They're probably made by Sony. Like
Probably.
Sony, they you look in the book and it says, hey, these guys, Sony made this.
It's like, yeah, but there was something wrong with it. They just slapped a new name on it.
You peel the
It's
sticker off
defective.
and it says Sony underneath the Element sticker.
Anyway, I'm moving on.
Moving on.
Last month, Epic Games began taking action against Fortnite players who had used and were allegedly associates of the site Addicted Cheats to obtain aimbots that would give them the competitive edge in their game.
I really believe that they use that. Oh, that's another game I played this week. Fortnite. Yep.
These cheat services actually cost money, which is insane, with players paying around $5 to $15 a month just to cheat.
Damn.
Just
I'm
to
in
cheat.
the wrong business, dude. Why can't we make that shit up?
I don't know.
I make an aimbot. What does the aimbot do? Just help you aim?
Well, I'm gonna assume there's some. I don't know. I'd have to play Fortnite to find out. Maybe it cheats your aim, so if you
Maybe.
feel like you're always targeted on your character.
You know the funnest part of Fortnite? Jumping out of the bus. Then after
don't
that,
know
you
what
just
that
die. I mean,
And
you
you
just
just die.
You just die. Like, you land. If you land where there's other people and you don't get a gun, you are completely just effed. Effed in the B. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I like it and then I don't. I don't know.
Yeah. That's
I
the
like PUBG
consensus
better.
I've heard.
PUBG, it seemed like when you get in PUBG, one, it's more realistic. Two, when you hit the ground, there's guns.
Yeah.
Like this one, man, there's no, I just feel like I don't want a damn tactical shotgun. You know, like, and they don't do it right anyway. The shotgun, like, if I ain't from here to the wall, like, it ain't going to even hurt you.
Right.
You going to get sprayed with some bullets. Stupid.
Now, Epic Games have chosen this course of action after deciding that the modification of the game's code is against Fortnite's end-user license agreement and Copyright Act. I'm going to assume, like I said, this just makes you, unmissable. Like your bullseye.
I guess it does
headshot.
when if you pulled an aim, pulled your gun up to aim, it would stick to you maybe. So
Probably,
maybe. Yeah.
I don't know.
Aim assist.
It definitely sounds like a big cheat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Call of Duty has aim assist.
Mm-hmm. Now, the company said Epic is not okay with the ongoing cheating or copyright infringement from anyone at any age. As previously stated, we take cheating very seriously, and we will pursue all available options to make sure that our games are fun, fair, and competitive for all players. I'm good with that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
One out of the two plaintiffs in the case was revealed to actually be a 14-year-old boy whose mother is actually trying to build a countersuit against Epic Games. Now, she addressed the court through a letter attacking Epic Games, pointing out what she considers to be their missteps, such as the terms of service for the game requires parental consent for a minor, which she says she never gave. Now, this kid's a cheater. What kid's just going to go ask their mom for...
Mom, can I cheat?
Parental... Even to play the game. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Hey, Mom, look, Mom, I just need permission to... I need $15
to go play this game.
And I'm going to cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Please, Mom. It's just a game, Mom. It's just... All it's doing is I can just shoot people.
Yeah.
Okay, Billy.
Are you okay with that? Can I shoot people?
Okay, Billy, here's $15.
Yeah. She also goes on to say that the case is based on a loss of profits, despite being a free-to-play game, and said that her son is being used as a scapegoat to avoid pursuing the companies providing the software to cheat.
Yeah, they did offer the game for free.
Yeah, they did.
And to me, I haven't seen any microtransactions. It's kind of like a beta for the game.
I do know that you can pay, like there's a pay version.
Right.
But again, it's...
But the pay version is the version of the game where you play with... It's the co-op version.
Okay.
It's where waves of zombies come at you and you try to build a fort.
Mm-hmm.
And you survive the night. Fortnite. Do you know how long a fortnight is?
Was it like 2 days?
I think it's 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. I got the 2 part right.
A fortnight is 2 weeks.
Okay.
Now why would it? Hey, I haven't seen you in a fortnight. Damn, it's a long time.
It is.
I missed you.
Anyway, according to the lawsuit itself, it actually accuses the kid of being one of the software's creators, something that the mother also vehemently denies. I think that's kind of a stretch. A 14-year-old kid. I'm not saying that there's not a 14-year-old boy that couldn't.
Yeah.
But to have a company.
He's got a company.
I mean, there's a company behind this cheating software. So I can't really see. I don't know. It's a bit of a stretch. Bit of a stretch.
I mean, I guess the mom's just protecting her kid.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you can't legally sue a minor directly, which begs the question, did Epic know the full identity of who they were accusing before filing the lawsuit? Now, considering that the mother also points out that the company violated Delaware minor protection laws by releasing information about her son to the public, I would say maybe not.
You mean to tell you what's going to happen?
Well, let me finish. Epic did release a statement saying that this particular lawsuit arose as a result of the defendant filing a DMCA counterclaim to a takedown notice on a YouTube video that exposed and promoted Fortnite Battle Royale cheats and exploits. Under these circumstances, the law required that we file a suit or drop the claim. So maybe they were just going through the proper channels, did not realize that it was a kid.
Okay, well, let's think about this. If he started his own company, he's obviously smart.
Yeah.
So he probably knows the avenues to go. He probably, what should I do?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is the avenue I should go. Okay, I'm going to do it. Like, he's probably advanced in his brain other than a regular 14-year-old. So he's like, I'm going to protect what I made. He's probably made a lot of money on this.
If he made this stuff.
Obviously, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's probably where he's at.
Perhaps. So we'll see. I'm not quite sure who I believe here. I do agree with Epic Games in their fight for keeping gaming fun for everybody, because the online communities playing games on certain games, it's just so toxic.
Yeah, dude.
And it ruins so much.
They all get like that after a while. And it's like, as long as the company stays on it, they got their watchdogs, it's okay. Like Call of Duty Modern Warfare is the first one I remember this in. After a certain period of time, they just stopped caring about what went on. And then all of a sudden you had people, the flying saucer cheat, where they would do something and shoot the ground, and they would shoot straight up in the air, and they would just be at the top of the map and just start shooting you. You know,
and who does that help? Like,
nobody.
Why is that fun to people?
I don't know. That's what I asked. Like, why are you having fun doing that, dude? Like, the whole fun of this is run around and try not to die. Like, if you can go up there and just shoot everybody, then what's the fun of it?
Yeah, because you're taking the fun out of it for everybody else, and then you're just kind of sitting there like a stump on a log. You know?
Yeah, they're worse than the kid running around with a bazooka. Mm-hmm. I mean, I almost understand why that kid's doing that. He's trying to get an achievement. He's got to kill 5 people with that bazooka to get that achievement. Okay.
You know what? I would actually almost respect somebody to say, hey, look, I'm trying to get an achievement. Could you help me out? Because I would love that for Injustice. That's one of those games that I've looked over and I said, there's a part of me that could almost try to platinum this, but the online stuff is where I just draw the line.
Right.
Because it's like you have to fight so many matches, or there was like King of the Hill matches, and you have to beat 5 or 10 matches. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're fighting a bunch of people and you have no idea who you're coming across. Like I've come across little cheaters who just like to sit there and spam
Sweet
a button.
kick,
And it's like, dude, stop. Okay, fine, that's what you're gonna do. Screw it, we're done. And then you find actual people who will fight. Normal fights with you.
Right.
But if it's so frustrating to try and go after such a simple thing when you have no idea who you're dealing with. And that's where my frustration with online stuff goes, because you always encounter some little jackass.
Oh my God! And kids are the worst.
Yeah, because they don't care.
No,
they have no respect anymore. We're not all right. I'm gonna stop because boy, I could go on a tangent right now. There's a whole other podcast for that.
There is. It's just a different culture. Like from us growing up, we didn't have online. They've grown up with online, so. It's just different for them, and
but even still, there's some form of respect you could have.
Yeah,
and they have none.
They're entitled.
Little millennial bastards. All right, moving on. Black Friday was last weekend.
It was.
We actually saw a trend in e-commerce surge this year, increasing 17% from last year. Now, mobile devices were actually used for 54.3% of visits and 39.9% of online revenue on Black Friday, with smartphones accounting for about 44.6% of all visits and 26% of revenue. Average order volume was up 0.9% at about $135. For the second consecutive year, e-commerce activity on Thanksgiving Day surpassed Black Friday activity, with average order values of about $154 on Thursday versus $142 on Friday. Now, the top-selling products on Black Friday included the Google Chromecast, which I actually have one. I just don't use it.
What is Google Chromecast?
Essentially, it's a device you plug into the back of your TV.
Oh, so it's kind of like a Fire Stick.
No.
No.
At least the one I have is not.
Okay.
You'd think it would, because that's what I kind of thought it was going to be. But I can then take my phone and link it to that.
Like Apple TV.
Yeah. And then just watch whatever's on my phone on my
Gotcha.
TV.
Okay.
But I have most of the apps on my phone, on my TV, or my PlayStation.
Right, yeah.
So it's just kind of like, there are occasional things, but not very many.
Right.
So
yeah.
I feel like it was pretty cheap, but still felt like it was $20 wasted.
I feel like stealing my mom and dad's Apple TV because they never use it, so I can do that sometimes.
I mean, if you've got a use for it, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if I didn't have all the apps that I do, maybe it would come in handy. There's probably one or two I could probably use it for.
I don't know, like if my internet would do it though.
Yeah, that's
HughesNet and all.
Well, I don't know if. I don't know.
Can I hook to it and use my data on my phone?
I would imagine you could.
Yeah, I think I can
try it out.
I should.
Because they should connect, maybe Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I don't know. You try that. It has to be something like that. I'm almost positive.
I can't remember. I did my mom and dad's. I set their thing up, and they haven't used it at all. They're just not tech friendly, Yeah.
So. Anyway, other items were the Apple AirPods. What is that?
That is the earbuds that they're about this big, and they just sit in your ear, and they're Bluetooth pretty much.
Gotcha. The Sony PlayStation VR, PJ Masks.
Dun, my little girl loves that.
Yeah, so does mine. Yeah. Hatchimals. Hatchimals.
Hatchimals.
And collectibles. Collectables.
Oh.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Hatchimals and collectibles. That's some kids today.
Like the Hatchimal thing is pretty cool. Like Peyton got one last year, and it's a big egg, right? And you warm it up, and the longer you warm it up, all of a sudden a little son of a bitch inside like starts poking through, and it's pretty cool. I mean, like that was a ingenious little thing. Like everybody went crazy for that shit last year.
Like a Furby, but not really.
Yeah.
In an egg.
They're like Furbies. You know what they do that Furbies don't do? That's way easier. Is they let you reset it and start over.
Wow.
Like these little egg, not the eggs, but the little Hatchimal, like grows, like doesn't grow. Like I guess its brain enhances the whole time you teach it more stuff, and you can actually see it more so than the Furby. I think that's where they screwed up with the Furby.
Yeah.
We're talking about toys now. This is video games.
Yeah. Well, we're getting to it. Outside of that, Super Mario Odyssey was the leading game that was sold over the
I don't believe that. I don't believe
with
that.
the Nintendo Switch and Xbox One X actually being the best-selling consoles. Now, despite that, Sony reported having its most profitable Black Friday in its 22-year history.
Yeah, they were flying out of there. I'm not kidding.
Now, what's most interesting to note above is the use of mobile devices versus shopping versus desktop PCs. Studies conducted during the holiday weekend showed that a higher percentage of consumers would ultimately make their final purchase via a desktop, but the number of mobile purchases this year did increase. Now, I really don't see what the difference is between ordering from your phone or your computer, but maybe there's just some form of comfort to it.
They want to know if they're not getting it off the PC and they're getting it more on the phone, then they're going to quit making PCs.
Well, the fact that, the consumer does that. Like, why would you look at it on your phone and be like, I got to go order it here when you have a button on your phone?
Right.
Why not just hit the button on your phone?
Well, yeah.
I really feel like it's something internal where you just feel like, well, the comfort level's here, so I gotta go here and fix that.
Well, I think it just depends on where you was looking at it at the time.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean?
I actually am starting to feel like more and more people are embracing this idea of e-commerce. I would assume to avoid the Black Friday nightmares we've heard about over the past. I've been a big advocate for online shopping, so I'm glad it's starting to pick up. Now, granted, it could take, and I wouldn't say that brick and mortar shops will ever go out of business.
No, it does hurt, but I'll tell you this. As far as Black Friday and Walmart, I was in Walmart. Mm-hmm. It's not bad anymore. It's because, like, I remember 6 years ago, right before the big online push started during Black Friday, man, Walmart was like Coachella, and it was horrible. It was, you could not move. I seen just two people getting fight over a Power Wheel. I mean, they literally, it looked like a movie. They grabbed it at the same time.
Wow. And
then they fought. I thought somebody was going to get stabbed. It was bad. But every year since then, it's like less and less and less and less. Like this year, it was not bad at all. Like I got there early to get what I wanted. I got everything I wanted. And then I guess if it started at 6, we got there at 4. We got there 2 hours early. Got what we wanted. And then just kind of looked around. I think part of it was waiting in line for the TV that I got.
Yeah.
I had to wait in line till 6. Got what we wanted, got in line, and we were out of there by 8. It's not bad.
Nice.
I think online shopping really, I think they've just made it more accessible every year.
Yeah, and it's so much easier, so you don't have to go. You can find everything you need, and in hopes that whoever it is, Amazon, even Walmart, has their online stock supplied, so you don't have to worry about it.
Have you seen our Walmart lately? They got that big site-to-store delivery method.
I've heard of that, but I've not seen it.
Oh, man, it is awesome. Like, I'll probably use it this year before Christmas.
Nice.
Like, you buy it online, you come to the store, you go up to the thing, and you scan your phone on whatever they have. This thing spins, lowers an elevator, and opens a door, and there's your order.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check that out. That sounds
It's
really awesome.
this big monstrosity right up front when you go in the grocery side. It is amazing. Like, I just want to, like, I'm fixing to order something online. I want to see this thing work.
Wow.
It's cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out. I did not know that they put that in.
Yeah. It's a
I'm
couple months
intrigued.
old. I thought it was like an elevator.
Yeah.
Like, man, they got a second floor in Walmart now.
Nice. All right, well, moving on. Another little tidbit. PUBG is currently in development for mobile platforms.
Don't understand that.
Publisher Tencent. I'm going to say Tencent. That's what it looks like to me. Tencent announced that it was working with developer Bluehole to port PUBG to smartphones, with the mobile version to be released first in China.
China.
No release date has been announced or information provided in regards to plans to launch the game in other countries. I will say that maybe China is maybe like their testing grounds to see if it does well, and then if it does, then they'll port it overseas to the States and whatnot. But would that be fun? PUBG on a phone?
Yes. No, not on a phone. No.
Okay.
PUBG is awesome. Like, I've not played it, just watched it, and I want to play that game so bad. Fortnite is exactly like PUBG, but like I said, there's differences that just make
It's got its issues.
Yeah, it's got its issues. But the whole thing is, like, it forces you to use teamwork. I mean, you can go in it by yourself and go alone, but it forces you, if you go into, like, squad-based matches, you have to be with your team. You have to use the team. And there's cars, you can get, there's a car every now and again you get in, it's got limited gas, so you gotta, damn, this car's out of gas, we can't use it. But man, some of the funniest ones is people getting in cars and taking off to a different spot, trying to get in, because the circle closes, and you have to be within this circle or your character's dead.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, is the beauty part of that game. It forces everybody to a certain spot, it funnels you in, and like, if you get lucky and guess the center of the spot, the last spot, then you're set up. So you're good. You might be able to survive. Get your chicken dinner. That's what you win, a chicken dinner.
Is that
That's what you win.
I've always heard this winner chicken dinner thing. I don't understand, but I'm not part of the lexicon with it.
It's
the game.
Absolutely just, I don't know. It's awesome looking game.
I definitely want to check it out at some point.
But I'm not getting an Xbox One X to get that.
I am not either. Speaking of which, that's a good segue.
I planned that.
Studio MDHR's soon-to-be classic Cuphead has reportedly sold 1 million copies on Steam.
That's good.
Cuphead is one of the few games that have passed 1 million sales point in 2017. This indie run-and-gun game has topped Divinity, Original Sin 2, Black Desert Online, and Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now, what's interesting about this is Studio MDHR, they really need to work on that, has not revealed the overall sales for platforms, which would only be the Xbox. Based on information already available, it would seem that 60% of all sales from the game are on PC, which would indicate to me how much of a failure this game would have been if it was just an Xbox-only exclusive.
Well, to me, it shows that the play anywhere, or you don't just, it's not going to be only on Xbox, you can also get on a PC thing, is hurting their console.
I mean, I also feel like that, I really feel like the Xbox players are not PC gamers.
No,
they are completely different beast.
They're 12-year-olds that get on your nerves when you play online games.
Yeah. I really feel like that Cuphead was not meant for Xbox gamers.
No.
I mean, you have some out there that are playing it, apparently, but I feel like the sales figures alone say enough.
Right.
I really do. And PC gamers are a lot more open to new things.
Yeah.
And experimenting. I mean, obviously, we've seen the outrageous amount of games that come out. So, I don't know. I feel like the game would have flopped if they just said Xbox only. Xbox only.
Well, I think that's what they're doing also is like maybe solidifying the fact that these games can be successful if they're publishing them because they're going to automatically come out on two platforms.
Yeah. So they're going to have to keep it up that way if they're especially going to make games like that.
Yeah.
Because that game did not deserve to be a failure.
No,
I'm not saying it
Lord,
is,
no.
but
I wish they would have come out on PlayStation.
Yeah, it needs to.
It
All
probably
right,
won't.
well, moving on. Almost a year ago, I can't believe it's been that long, Square Enix announced a multi-game partnership with Marvel that would begin with an unnamed Avengers project to be developed by Crystal Dynamic, who did Tomb Raider, with some assistance from Eidos Montreal, the developers behind Thief and the Deus Ex series. I still need to play that new one.
Which one?
Deus Ex. What is it?
Was it like Mankind Divided?
Yeah.
One?
I still haven't played that.
Yeah. Heard it got mixed reviews. Haven't played it either. I like the other one, though.
Yeah. Details about the game are scarce outside of some information mentioning an original storyline, much like the PS4's upcoming Spider-Man game, and a universe in which fans can enjoy for years to come. Now, that last statement indicates that the game will follow the games as a service model that is becoming more and more popular. If you're unfamiliar with that term, it's essentially a way for a developer/publisher to make money off of a game for as long as possible, whether it be through downloadable content, cosmetic microtransactions, or even good old-fashioned loot boxes. Now, Square Enix has been recently more committed to this trend with games like Hitman and Final Fantasy XV following these models, and even stating publicly that they would approach game design with that mindset to generate reoccurring revenue streams. Now, last week, Square Enix CEO Yasuki Masuda provided a few additional tidbits about the upcoming Avengers project, saying that the company is dedicating considerable development resources to the developers to make this happen, and everything he has seen thus far is amazing.
I can't wait to see it.
Is quite revealing, showing how much Square Enix is banking on their partnership with Marvel. It also indirectly supports a rumor that floated around that Square Enix released IO Interactive because of this project, given that they are pushing all their resources into the development of these new Marvel games. Now, despite having no information about the game or even a tentative release date, odds are good that we will see this game somewhere between now and next year, or at least maybe a preview, possibly at E3, maybe with a release date poised between the release of the upcoming Infinity War and the currently untitled Avengers 4 in 2019.
I say we'll see it at E3. Possibly CES,
Yeah, I think we'll see something about it because they were even talking about some announcements coming up. I think we mentioned that last week. They had some announcements, and I'd actually forgotten about that one until now. But now, I mean, it's one of those stories that kind of pops up and bobs his head up every now and again. It's like, hey, we're still working on this. Like, oh, yeah. Right. I remember.
And we got PSX coming up this weekend, coming week.
That's
so,
right.
If I'm not mistaken, did they not announce that at a PlayStation thing? Or am I just...
I don't recall.
I can't remember either.
They may have. I remember they just brought it up and it was like, cool, an Avengers project. Awesome.
I think it might have been a Microsoft thing. Because I was worried that it was just going to be on Microsoft because Spider-Man was only going to be on PlayStation. But I could be wrong on that too.
Yeah. No, it'd be silly to keep that from being multi-platform. Yeah. That would be dumb.
Yeah.
Last little bit of news and another little tidbit is fans of the original Sony PlayStation can now own a detailed book chronicling the history of the console. The PlayStation Anthology book comes in two forms. The first is a 386-page classic edition that you can get for a retail price of about $44.99.
That's low.
And the second is a collector's edition, and it is 458 pages long, which includes a complete collector's checklist for all 4,500 games released worldwide.
Damn.
This version is only available from Geeksline Publishing, for $52.99.
It's not much, that much more.
No.
It's 44, you spend what, extra $8?
Getting another 50, 60, 70 pages?
And a checklist.
I'm doing my math pretty quick in my head.
Yeah. It's okay. We're not gonna fault you that you got Common Core.
I know. Okay, now it's time for
What?
weird news.
Weird news.
First thing I have in weird news is players of Star Wars Battlefront 2 have apparently developed a way to take the chore out of level grinding. At the end of each multiplayer match, you are awarded a small amount of XP.
Okay.
However, you must be active within the game, as standing idle will get you booted from the servers, which I think is either a good thing or kind of a dick move.
No,
But
I think
I'd
if
say
you can't just have people in there standing there.
Yeah,
You
so
should-
good thing.
Yeah.
So they did something right. To work around this, some players have actually been strapping rubber bands to their joysticks. Others have actually built automated machines to move around for them. Is that really worth doing? I mean, is this game
No.
right? You're not playing it. What's the point of having a game to play if you're not playing it?
I don't know. Like
I don't understand this.
I would go with the rubber band route before I would make a
Machine. To
a
do
machine that lets me it does it all day while I'm at school.
It. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep moving.
Yeah.
Oh God, children.
Love
I'm
it.
telling you, man.
The rubber band method would work
Yeah.
to me.
Whatever. It's just just makes me sigh in disappointment.
Check out this contraption I made. What's it do? It moves my controller while I'm,
So
while I'm away.
I can just not play this game that
Jimmy's
I paid money
cool.
for.
Yeah.
You know, what's the rubber band gets to have all the fun.
Yeah, I know. Like, God, these kids
Anyway.
today.
Next bit, I actually have quite a bit of weird news today.
Well, that's
You know,
good. This is there's a lot of weird stuff happening.
Yeah. And now, have you ever wanted to see dancing women
Yes.
dancing naked
Yes.
from the comfort of your own home
Yes.
in virtual reality?
Yes.
Okay. Well, now there's a
Strip
game
clubs.
for that.
Oh.
It's called Virtual Reality Girls.
Oh, nice.
It's developed by Eros VR.
Okay.
It was published on Steam this week,
Oh.
only to be promptly removed.
Oh.
Now, what happened is the Steam community called for its removal, calling it pornographic.
So?
The developer fired back saying, "We do not agree with this decision because there are only dancing girls in the game. You can choose an outfit for the girl. You can let her be naked, but nothing more. There is nothing sexual going on. She's just dancing naked."
Yeah,
Or
they did it in
maybe partially clothed.
Grand Theft Auto.
Now, they are in fact correct about this. The problem came from the accessibility of the game to young viewers. Okay, that's where everybody got up in arms. Now, arguments were made in the game's defense, stating that naked women are damaging to children, but not gratuitous violence. You know, which
No, you can
is
shoot people, but you can't see a titty.
Yeah, exactly. And have you noticed that America does have this odd imbalance? Like,
Yes.
we embrace violence like no other country, but sexual content is just like, it's taboo. Yet you go to other countries and it's right the opposite.
Go to Japan. Boy,
Yeah.
like I know people that would have their head would explode if they go to Japan.
It's just insane.
Look at all the leather.
Now, I would also argue this point. If you're going to make that, comparison to a VR game where you're just seeing a bunch of digital naked dancing girls, what about all the porn that's all over the internet in which they're already on?
I know.
It's not hard to just search porn and then boom, there it is.
Man, it's in everything. Like I watched Pop Star last night. Never stop.
Oh, yeah.
Never stop. That scene in the limo, dude.
That was
Come
terrible.
on, man. I was like, what? I had to cover Peyton's eyes. No, look at the pecker. Then he autographed it. Oh man, I fell out. What's funny, Daddy?
Nope.
Wait till you're 18.
All right, last little bit of weird news I have is that Kellogg's Cereal Company has teamed up with who? Who have they teamed up with?
They have teamed up with EA.
No. With Nintendo
Oh,
to take fans on a breakfast odyssey that will continue long after the cereal box is empty.
boom! They're great.
That's their words, not mine.
Yeah, I like how you said it though. Say it again.
The breakfast odyssey that will continue long after the cereal box is empty. With Super Mario Breakfast Cereal.
Ta-da!
This limited edition cereal will hit shelves on December 11th with a super mixed berry flavor powered by a colorful Mario-themed marshmallows. So you have, like little Mario question blocks.
Yeah, and Mario.
Maybe some mushroom marshmallows.
Like how? What? Like when the box is empty, what's gonna happen?
Oh, let me explain.
Please do.
Along with being part of a balanced breakfast, this box also comes with collectible artwork and a functionable amiibo.
Huh.
So,
Man, you know what this is gonna lead to? People busting ass for a box of cereal.
Yeah. So for $5, you get a new amiibo that does something with your game. I don't know anything about amiibos all that much.
I don't either. They're just collectible to me.
Vaguely things, but I will. I don't want to make this sound bad.
I bet they come from China.
But I read this official announcement and it kind of angered me because it was just so cliche. That whole, breakfast odyssey, part of a balanced breakfast, blah, blah, blah. It's all this stuff that you've heard like in the 80s. And I'm like, what is this? Stop.
I don't get it. I don't know.
I don't know.
What kind of amiibos do they announce the amiibos that's coming? Like you get a Tony the Tiger amiibo?
No, it's just the box is your amiibo.
The box?
Yeah. Somehow the box acts as an amiibo. So you use that while you're playing Super Mario Odyssey, and then you get stuff. That's why it can
Please,
still be an
add
adventure.
crickets in right now. Like what the? What? What? I didn't get a toy in the box.
No, the box is the toy.
That's dumb.
No, it's revolutionary.
It's stupid. If I ain't getting a toy at the bottom, if I get to the bottom of a box of cereal and there ain't a damn toy in there, I'm raging.
Well, you just get the box, and it acts as an amiibo.
And that's the $5 amiibo.
Yeah. But you got some cereal out of it too.
Oh damn! Oh damn! Nintendo.
Now, speaking of which, to some of you out there who might not remember, this is not the first time there have been Nintendo cereals. Do you remember Nintendo?
I remember
cereal?
the Mario Brothers Nintendo.
It was Super Mario Brothers and Zelda. So you had like red and blue cereal pieces.
It was
and
like
orange and green cereal pieces.
Wait, they were together or were they separate?
Yeah, they were two bags in the same box.
Yes, and the Zelda one was kind of like Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I just remember the box. I remember the bags. I don't remember much beyond that.
Stupid.
But yeah, there was Nintendo cereal. Nintendo, it's a cereal. Do you remember that?
I don't remember the damn song.
There was a song. I can't believe I just remembered it.
Yeah, but you can play it right now.
Okay.
Is it playing? Oh, there it is.
There it was. Screw that. All right, so that was the end of our weird news. Let's move on to release dates.
That was the best weird news you've done, man.
Thank you. On December 5th, we have Dead Rising 4, Frank's Big Package, coming to PS4. Steep Road to the Olympics for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Destiny 2, Curse of Osiris DLC for, I'm going to assume PC or some other thing because I don't have it written down. I wonder why. It's coming. If you don't have it already, it's coming for you. If you're still playing Destiny 2. On December 6th, we have Bravo Team for PSVR. That actually looked pretty good.
You know, like, I believe I remember seeing that during the E3.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're right, it does. It looks cool as shit.
Yeah, I'd like to check it out.
They're starting, I imagine you can play with the aim controller.
Yeah.
That is going to be a Christmas gift. If you're listening, people, I want an aim controller.
Yeah, I would like an aim controller too.
Yeah.
I think it would be awesome.
Santa Claus.
On December 8th, and I was a little surprised by this one, but I put it down anyway because I did some research and I was like, all right, well, maybe I missed something. Hello Neighbor is out for Xbox One and PC. I really swore this game was out already. Hello Neighbor?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but maybe it's just for Xbox One. Because I know I've seen people play it on PC.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe it was like an early access on Steam.
Maybe. But hey, like I've said before, all release dates are subject to changes. My words got all messed up. On December 9th, we have Loco Roco 2 Remastered for PS4.
Yay!
Now, we're not done because we also have the Xbox Live Games for Gold for December 2017.
Let's see. Let's compare them. Let's see which one's better this year.
Okay.
In this month. Go.
All right. For Xbox Live, we have Warhammer in Time for Xbox One X all month long. See, I don't like how they do that either. Where it's just, limited dates versus just one whole month. That's just kind of weird, you know?
What do you mean?
Because, all right, well, with that, Warhammer says it's all month that you can get the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Back to the
Oh,
Future,
so
the
after
game,
that, it's over with.
Yeah, Back to the Future, the game, 30th Anniversary Edition, comes to Xbox One X only from December 16th to January 15th. See what I'm saying? So instead of just doing the full month of December, you have this odd timeline in which to get it.
It's almost like they're like, okay, we're hoping that nobody pays attention to the dates.
Yeah.
And then it drops off and they don't get it. So they're probably paying for every download.
I don't know.
That's weird.
Strange. The other games are Children of Eden. Will be available December 1st.
The Firth?
The 1st. That's a Mike Tyson thing.
Yeah.
Santa Claus. December 1st to the 15th for the Kinect for the Xbox 360. I didn't think they were still doing that. Okay.
I imagine they're just for the adopters that got it.
And finally, Marlo Briggs and the Mask of Death for Xbox 360 from December 16th to the 31st.
So they're offering 2 games per month for the 360. But why not just offer them for the whole month, both of them?
I don't know.
That's dumb.
I know. Now, for PlayStation Plus, for the month of December, we have Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition.
That's awesome.
For the PS4. Never played it. Always wanted to.
I'm gonna definitely play it now.
That's on it. Next is Kung Fu Panda Showdown of Legendary Legends for PS4. I've never played that. Never probably won't. But it looked like Super Smash Brothers.
I probably like Peyton will play it.
Yeah.
She loves Kung Fu Panda.
So good. You know, it's for somebody out there, I guess.
Yeah.
For PS3, we have Siberia Collection. Don't know what that is.
Don't know.
X-Blaze Lost Memories.
Yeah.
Don't know.
No.
For PS Vita, we have Forma 8, which is also cross-buy with PS4.
I looked at that game.
Mm-hmm.
I looked that game up because for some reason it just kind of. I was like, well, what is this game? Like, if it's on PS4, I want to know. And so I look it up. It looks like a Pixel Junk game.
A what?
A Pixel Junk.
Oh, okay.
You ever played any of those?
Mm-hmm.
Like Pixel Junk shooter.
Yeah.
And it's like you're this little. It looked like a bubble or a square, a circle. And it looked fun. I immediately thought of you. I thought it would be something that you would like.
I might look into it then.
Yeah.
And finally, we have Wanted Core for PS Vita. Now, before I even move on, there is one more little thing.
What is
As a PlayStation Plus member, on December 9th through the 12th, players will be able to experience a beta for Monster Hunter World.
Oh, yeah. I seen that today.
You will be tasked with hunting great Jagras and an Anjanath in the ancient forest, as well as a Baroth, in the Wild Spire Waste. I'll be honest with you, there are 2 characters in the last Monster Hunter I played that was like Baroth and then Barioth.
Right.
And they're nothing alike, but just one has an I in its name.
You would think they were cousins.
Yeah, you'd think, but they're not. It's
Yeah.
Baroth and Barioth.
One's a
and
cat,
I'll be
one's a
honest
dog.
with you, another thing that I do too is I don't call the monsters all the time by their, allotted name, because there were some that they were just aggravating, so I just started giving them nicknames.
Like asshole.
Yeah. It's like, oh, there's this guy.
This guy.
So.
That guy.
Yeah.
This guy. No. That's that
and
guy.
maybe the names aren't appropriate for.
Yeah. If they kill you more than twice, I'm probably cussing them.
So I'll just let it be for now. But just know that if you ever play Monster Hunter with me and I start calling a monster by a different name, there's a reason for that. But yeah, December 9th through the 12th, I will be taking part of this. I'm going to try it out.
I seen it today.
I think mainly what I want to see is I'm hoping that I can experience whether or not this is going to be familiar to me or new. Now, I do know that there are new elements to it, but I want to be able to pick this up and feel like I've played this game before. But also, I'm learning something new. I'm seeing something new.
Right.
So, here's hoping. That's
Here's
next Saturday? Or to everybody listening on Monday, it'll be...
No. Will it be Friday?
Saturday.
Will it start on Friday?
Or is it Friday? I thought the 9th
I think
was a...
it's going through the whole PSX thing.
Oh, okay.
And I think that it's the 9th is Saturday, Friday. Let me see.
Who knows?
I think it's...
All I know is it's next weekend.
Yeah.
And luckily, I'll have some free time.
No, you're right, dude. 9th is Saturday.
Cool.
So it'll go from the 9th to that following Tuesday.
See, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know why I looked at it. So I guess, I don't know, PSX usually starts on a Friday.
All right, well, we're going to move into our retro review of the week. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I think so.
Now, this one, I don't even remember where this game just kind of came at me out of the blue, and I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that. So I had to really start doing some digging, and you'll hear what I have to say about it as I go on. But I chose it for a reason, so are you ready?
I am totally ready for this.
Do you remember War Gods?
No, I don't.
Okay.
We're talking about Nintendo, right?
Well, it was an arcade game as well.
Okay.
It's a fighting game that originally released in arcades by Midway Games in 1996. Ports were for the Nintendo 64, PlayStation, and even Windows were released in 1997. In the game, players controlled one of 10 fighters who have been given great power by a mysterious ore that crash-landed on Earth from outer space. The object of the game is to defeat all the other fighters to become the most powerful warrior on the planet.
Boom.
Now, the game was obviously Midway's attempt at creating a new fighting game franchise utilizing mechanics from Mortal Kombat 4, which released in and around the same time. I think War Gods beat it by a year or so. So, do you remember when they did Mortal Kombat 4? It was that 3D landscape, and then they kind of did that in Mortal Kombat 4 where you could kind of move around.
You had like a map you could go through? Kinda?
Yeah, sort of. It was more open, but not quite.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were trying something new.
Yeah.
Now, unique to this particular game, they didn't use it in Mortal Kombat 4, was a 3D button. This actually allowed the users to use the background and the foreground for additional attacks and evasive maneuvers. The game's graphics were created using a technology that Midway called digital skin, which mapped photographs onto 3D models. By using this technology, they only used 2 actors for motion capture throughout the entire game. As far as the story goes, in typical fighting game fashion, many, many years ago... Oh, I gotta get into my announcer voice.
Yes.
Many, many years ago, a spaceship carrying precious life-giving ore crashes to the Earth. The chunks of ore scattered across the planet, and over the years, 10 humans each find a stone of the ore and are transformed into powerful beings, War Gods. Now they are fighting each other to possess the stones and become the ultimate super warrior.
So, in a sense, to possess the stones, they're fighting they're fighting for, like, nuts.
Yeah.
A pair of balls.
They want those.
They want the stones.
They want those stones.
I want to have the biggest stones.
Now, would you like to hear, maybe this will jog your memory if you possibly remember this game, but the characters involved.
I definitely want to hear it.
Okay, here are the characters that you can fight as in War Gods. You have Ao Kin. He was an evil high priest who, after having a vision, sent his slaves to their death, diving into his tribe's sacrificial well to reach the ore before retrieving the ore himself. You have Anubis. After uncovering a hidden burial chamber guarded by the ore in the Valley of the Kings, his body was captured by the ore, and his soul was cursed to return as Anubis.
Anubis, like the Egyptian Anubis? Yeah.
Psi 5. This is spelled CY-5. Psi 5. Are you with me on that? Okay. A cyborg from the future implanted with the ore by scientists who are unaware of the ore's true power. Psi 5 seeks additional ore to achieve greater human consciousness. Next up is Kabuki Joe.
That's who I want to play with.
A medieval samurai who seeks to master the power of the ore after it causes him to slaughter his own men in a rage of fire and fury. Maximus, a gladiator who killed his opponent in battle and his masters, escaping with the ore and fighting for all who have been enslaved. He kind of sounds like our protagonist.
Kind of, sort of.
In a way.
Yeah.
Pagan, a mistress of the black arts who find the ore, which increase her hunger for power and destruction. Tak, a stone idol brought to life by the ore as the avenger of a lost civilization. He could kind of be our protagonist too, maybe.
They all can be, sounds like.
Kind of. Vala, a warrior princess who stumbles upon a piece of the ore while taking shelter during a storm. It transforms her into a Viking goddess who rules the realm of ice.
She sounds hot.
Actually, I think Pagan's more hot. She was kind of the one with the S&M vibe going on.
Nice.
Voodoo, an evil Caribbean witch doctor who is killed and thrown into a swamp containing some of the ore, which brings him back to life as Voodoo, god of the undead.
Is this it?
It is.
That does look a lot like, you said Vala?
Vala, yeah,
That's the one you said was hot?
No, Pagan's the one that...
So that's Vala right there. She's
That's
hot,
Vala.
dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
She's got a
No, I'm not saying she's not.
gold bikini on.
I'm just, the black leather.
It's totally Mortal Kombat, though.
Yeah.
Like this uppercut is Mortal Kombat.
And
Looks like he's fighting Swamp Thing.
the last character is Warhead, a former soldier who was the product of a wow, let me try that again. A former soldier who is the product of an explosion due to a failed attempt by the government to merge nuclear weapons with the ore. What are you doing?
He just started playing a video.
Yeah. All right. Now, the game featured, also like Mortal Kombat, 2 unplayable big bosses, Grox and Exor. Now, right now, if you want, I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say while I'm talking, and I'm gonna make sure to put this in right now. You hear it? Huh? Okay.
I hear it. It's very faint. What is
Grox had the best music in the entire game.
Did he have the Hulk Hogan theme song, like He's a Real American?
No, it was a very metal theme. You listen to it. Isn't that awesome?
That is. Oh my God, I want
It's
it.
a great tune, man.
Yep, I love it.
Okay. Now, you also have the ability to perform fatalities in this game. Now, you remember, I guess when Mortal Kombat really got popular and fatalities were kind of the thing to do, other fighting games would try to do fatalities, but they wouldn't call them fatalities. They would usually call them something else.
Right.
I feel like Midway knew that they had the hook on fatality, so they just said, no, we're going to call them fatalities. So that was another parallel to Mortal Kombat that I think may have, hurt the game a little bit. Now, obviously...
Pagan is hot.
Yeah, I told you.
This is on PlayStation 1 also.
Now, the no doubt fatalities are going to be a draw for the game. They always were for me. Unfortunately, they kind of fall flat, in my opinion. They are accompanied by a very epic-sounding score in the background. I'll go ahead and layer that in right now. Where you can hear it's like boom, boom, bada boom, boom. So it's this very epic sound. The drums are just pounding away. However, to the nature of the graphics, as you've seen right there, you've kind of pulled up, and they were kind of revolutionary for their time, I will say. But they are
it feels
dated.
like Pit Fighter too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember that game?
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you can definitely say they're dated by today's standards.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Some of these fatalities could vary from being awesome to downright lame.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the same case could be made for Mortal Kombat fatalities. To give some examples, okay? There's a fatality where Warhead calls in an airstrike, and you kill him with missiles just raining down on the opponent. It's just like, you think this is going to be the most epic thing imaginable, and then all of a sudden, the character turns into a giant mushroom cloud, and then that's it. No blood, no body parts, no nothing, and it's just like, oh, okay.
Kabuki Joe spits fire. He looks like a clown with red hair.
Something that, I don't know, something like that, like I said, it should have been awesome. Sci-5 calls in what essentially looks to be like a UFO to come and melt the opponent. Again, sounds cool, but the effect is kind of lacking. It's like they just turn into a puddle of mush. So it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't work.
But you remember, like back in the day, I bet we're like, that is so cool.
Yeah. But I will say that the beam sound effect they used for the the melting is very cool. They use like that old 70s ray gun sound.
Yeah.
I would do it. I'm not gonna.
I want you to do it.
But it sounds so much better. you know.
Do it again.
No.
Do it
You
again.
get one. That's all you
Damn
get.
it.
I gave you one. Now, some of the other fatalities were cool and much bloodier. Like Maximus, he actually summons 2 pillars that the opponent is promptly tied to, and then he uses his sword to split them at the torso. So
Right.
they're just sitting there hangling, like the top
Hangling.
hangling. Their top
That's
portion of their
hanging
body
and
is
angling
just
at the same
hangling
time.
from the pillars
Yeah.
and just bleeding out. So that was pretty cool.
Right.
Voodoo actually produces a voodoo doll. Go figure. And then he cuts the opponent, or he cuts the doll around the stomach area. So then the opponent, you just see their intestines fly out.
Awesome.
So it's kind of neat. But again, we're talking about 2 fatalities out of 10 characters that are kind of cool, and that's kind of just being generous.
Like today, like if they put out a game with 10 characters,
It would
the
just be
video game community would freak.
Oh yeah, what is this?
What?
This is not
complete.
enough.
It's not complete.
Now, critics were not impressed by this game either. Criticisms ranged from uninspired character designs to choppy animations to even a vicious AI that was more in the arcade versions. They actually had to tweak the AI for home consoles, apparently.
Right.
Because the AI in the arcades was an asshole, from what I heard.
Because they wanted your quarter.
Oh, yeah. That's how they get you. Now, not only that, but every reviewer, just as I have, related this game to Mortal Kombat, with one reviewer even calling the game an interesting footnote in the history of Mortal Kombat. Now, normally when I bring up these games, I'm gushing about how awesome they are and the memories I had playing them. And I will say that I've been a little critical of the game. I do remember playing this game often. I even remember owning it on the 64, if I'm not mistaken. I did have a copy of this. It was a product of its time, and it was fun for me personally. Like you said, at the time, it was cool.
Right.
You hadn't seen anything like this before. I even had it on PC, if you can believe that.
I don't believe that.
I did.
I don't believe it.
The music stood out for me in the game. Like I said before, the Grox theme that everybody heard earlier.
Wait, what was the
Badass.
guy's name?
Grox.
What did he look like?
He was just a big green...
The swamp thing looking.
Not the swamp thing. That's Exor.
Oh.
He was more like a dragon looking,
Oh, okay.
real big fella. The announcer voice I thought was even pretty cool too. Like every time he would say somebody's name, it was like Warhead, Anubis, Grox. It's just.
So the typical Mortal Kombat, because I always loved.
But his was so much more smooth. The only thing he messed up on was when he would do fatality.
Yeah.
If he said it in a more subtle, like fatality or something like that, it might have been cool. But he was like fatality. Just all up in it. It's like,
Yeah,
all
it
right.
sounded like a god.
Yeah. So, again, I look back on this game. Obviously had some rose-colored glasses on. I do see that it hasn't aged well. That said, I feel like that NetherRealm Studios, who is making Mortal Kombat and Injustice,
You're fixing to say the same thing I was going to say.
I wish that they would take another crack at this game.
Or just bring them into Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that would be a nice Easter egg.
That'd be awesome. Like, why not have them in there like they are? I don't know. Maybe not all of them, but let some of them like they teamed up to try to win their realms tournament. Something like that.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
I mean, I really feel like that even, if you take a look at Mortal Kombat X and Injustice 2, they are 2 vastly different games that are also very similar in fighting styles. I don't know, even finishing moves sometimes, where they have the little meter bar at the bottom where you can do the special moves and stuff like that. That was kind of similar between the 2 games. I know they're different, but they have a lot of similarities.
I don't know. I don't get to see them. You always block mine.
Yeah. So, what? I don't know. I feel like that they shouldn't have given up on it. I understand being a critical failure. I guess it would be the best way. And even then, I think that's being kind of harsh. It did all right. It could have done a lot worse. It's not the worst game in the world by no means. I feel like that it has potential. Even like you said, if you incorporate some of the characters in Mortal Kombat, maybe some fighter packs or something like that, or even just restarting the game as a whole and just seeing if it'll work. Maybe make it a small game. Utilize some of those aspects of Mortal Kombat, but don't don't make it Mortal Kombat. Try to find a way to make this game stand out. Again, make it unique from that, but still incorporate the ideas that work, because I'd love to see some of these fatalities that they did like they would be today, because they would be so brutal. They would amp that up today,
Right.
and it would just be insane.
And yeah, like the voodoo doll one would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, even some of the other ones, when they just seemed like that they would be... Back then, they looked terrible. Like, I think Tack, he'll smack your head into the ground until you are buried and nothing but, like, your shoulders and a head. That could be done with so much more brutality, where you just kind of see your body kind of crumble up under you.
Yeah.
And then your face is just bloodied and mangled until you're nothing but a pile of, just
Goo.
goo. But think about that. That we just wrote them up a fatality, a new way to do
They're
that.
not going to listen to us.
Or I think Pagan, what does she do? She
would
does
pull
like a
her thong
Medusa
out.
head. It comes out and it just like turns the character into stone, and then it just shoots eye beams out, and then the character explodes. I'm sure they could do that in a more... I mean, it's pretty epic for what it is. It's just kind of underwhelming. It's like, oh, okay,
Yeah, well,
there's
they
stone.
didn't have I don't think they had the capability to make it just
No.
awesome back then.
So, NetherRealm Studios, I know you're not listening, but if by some chance you do, or someone's working for you that is listening to this right now, why not think about bringing back War Gods just to see what would happen?
Think about it.
I even think
a War Gods pack.
Mhm.
There's 10 of them.
I even think I would agree with you there. Throw in some of the more popular characters out of the lot into a Mortal Kombat game or something like that. Test the waters.
Yeah.
See if people are interested, because if you have a surge in sales just for that one player pack, there you go.
I mean, you're already doing it with like Injustice. You brought Sub-Zero over.
And Hellboy and
Yeah,
all these
Hellboy,
other
yeah.
odd characters.
You're
Why
bringing them
not?
into that universe. Why not bring them all? Just like let them all intertwine. Like let them all be in the same universe.
Yeah, multiverse.
Anyway, yeah,
Open up the multiverse to Mortal Kombat.
yeah.
That's Mortal Kombat 11 right there. We just solved it for you.
Got it.
Go write that.
Boom. We want at least
Multiverse
50
Mortal
cents
Kombat.
for every one of them you sell.
That's right.
That's all. 50 cents.
But like we said, try again. Let's see what happens. I'd love to see a revival of War Gods, because the fact that you didn't even remember it, that says a lot. That shows how much that game has fallen into obscurity.
Well, I think with Mortal Kombat out, it kind of got overshadowed by that.
It went by the wayside pretty quick.
Yeah.
So
Because let's be honest, when you go to the arcade, if you see War Gods, even though it's Midway made every arcade game back then, just about. But you figure, I'm playing Mortal Kombat.
yeah. Still. Well, that's our show, man.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
I'm sorry.
Sad.
I do want to thank all of our listeners for following our podcast across the web. Leave us reviews on Podbean, iTunes, YouTube, Google Play Music, wherever you listen. We'd love to hear from you. You can also follow our Facebook page. Join our community page, which no one ever follows.
It's hard to get to it.
I don't see how.
I can't get to it.
I'll have to figure it out.
Maybe it's not us.
if
I
you
think
can't get to
Facebook
it-
needs to adjust their attitude.
Yeah, if you can't get to the community page, let me know, and I will fix it. I will find a way to get you in if you want to be there. If you don't want to be there, then fine. You don't have to join. I thought it would be a nice place.
Yeah.
Everybody could come and hang out. Maybe we just need to do a community Discord. How about that?
I don't know if everybody has Discord, but we should do that.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Everybody
Definitely.
has a Discord. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know. Like
Anyway.
Discord's like that. But okay, let me ask you this. Like on the thing with the community, like you got the icon that says, "Hey, here's the community right here," right?
Yeah.
You can't click on it.
But there should be a place off to your side that shows your pages that you're following or that you're a part of.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
I don't know. I'll look into it. I'll fix things
Thank you.
if everybody wants it.
We do want it.
Anyway, you could do all that stuff. You can give us
Somebody's
topics
hungry.
to discuss. Hop over to that red bubble and get you a T-shirt, which I still think that come next year, I think we're going to be somewhere else. I'm
Possibly.
just saying that. But right now, if you want an official T-shirt, go to Redbubble and go get a T-shirt. Support the show.
Please.
You can also go to patreon.com/pencil and paper productions to support this show and many others that we're doing. $5 gets you early access content like our YouTube series Man Cave and the newly revived Slapdash Spasmodic.
Newly revived with awesome.
And for any of you
content.
who may have seen it, if you're listening, if you don't know what Slapdash Spasmodic is, it is essentially my platform jumper show. Any ideas that I have, that's where they're going to go. If they don't have a place somewhere else in the world, they just need a way to get out into the world to exist, and this is its way. That's why I say it's the most random show on earth, because you're never going to see the same thing all the time. Granted, there are going to be, a few repeats, but it's testing the waters. It's like, did you like that one? Did you like that one? Did you like that one? Maybe we'll do something with it if you like it.
Did somebody
But
call
until
for a
then,
clown?
but
That's where that
until
could go.
then, huh?
That's where that could go. Did somebody call for a clown?
That's right. And that's exactly the point.
We need to do that.
We need to do that. See, if you have ideas, if you want to see it come to life on Slapdash Spasmodic, let us know. But this is not the Slapdash Spasmodic show. This is Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. And we do thank you so much for listening. I am Stephen White.
And I'm Todd Stark.
Join us again next time. But until then, game on.